Who is the most savage version of Eddie Brock? In Venom War Issue 2, we're about to get the answer. Right now, Eddie Brock and his son Dylan are locked in a heated battle over who should control the Venom symbiote. But before we dive into that explosive showdown, the story kicks off at Alchemax, where a villainous mastermind, Meridius, reveals his secret weapon, Chemical K-44. And trust me, this chemical is about to change everything. There was once a man named Lee Price who temporarily bonded with the Venom symbiote before dying shortly after. But that wasn't the end for him. A being known as the Captive reactivated traces of the symbiote in his corpse, turning him into a controllable zombie. This marked the rise of symbiote zombies, now spreading throughout the Marvel Universe. To combat them, Chemical K-44 was developed, a formula specifically designed to neutralize symbiotes by combining elements from these undead symbiotes. Liz Allen, the CEO of Alchemax, was alarmed and accused Meridius of being reckless, demanding to know if he had been experimenting on people with the chemical. Meridius calmly reassured her, insisting he was in complete control. Their conversation was abruptly cut short when a security guard rushed in, warning them that the zombie outbreak in the basement had escalated, and they needed to evacuate to the rooftop immediately. Meridius, however, had other plans. He sped up the process of his zombie takeover by forcing Chemical K-44 down Carlton Drake's throat. Carlton immediately transformed into a symbiote zombie, infecting the security guard by slashing his throat. This forced Liz Allen to take action, revealing her own secret symbiote, Misery, a combination of the Carnage symbiote and anti-venom. She had kept it hidden, but the situation left her no choice. Although Liz tried to stop the threat, Meridius quickly overwhelmed her. He shot her with a gun loaded with the original K chemical, followed by a powerful blow from a symbiote-formed fist, launching her out of the building and onto a taxi below. Cletus Cassidy then made an appearance, casually noting that Liz was probably still alive. Meridius, unfazed, stated he didn't need Cletus's help anymore, though he was welcome to stick around and watch the destruction unfold. The scene then transitions to a tense moment in the wrestling ring, where Eddie Brock confronts Peter Parker, demanding to know why Peter is bonded with the Venom symbiote. Venom himself urged Peter to let him explain, but Peter resisted, explaining that bonding with the symbiote wasn't his choice. He did it to save its life, knowing that either Eddie or Dylan would eventually need it. Eddie, not wasting any time, admitted that he needed the symbiote right now. However, Peter stood his ground, refusing to hand it over. He argued that neither Eddie nor Dylan was in the right state of mind to control the symbiote responsibly, implying the consequences could be catastrophic if either of them took it too soon. Frustrated by Peter's refusal, Eddie decided he wasn't going to wait any longer. He forcefully merged with Bedlam, the darkest and most brutal version of himself, prepared to take the symbiote by any means necessary. Sensing the looming danger, Venom and Peter made the first move, with Venom noting how smoothly they worked as a team. However, their initial strike, a solid punch, barely fazed Eddie. As the intense fight unfolded, Dylan and his symbiote allies stood by, observing the chaos. Bren, Toxin, turned to Dylan, wondering aloud which side they should align with. He suggested that helping Venom and Peter might be their best move, given the unpredictable nature of the fight. Dylan, however, remained quiet, seemingly lost in thought, unsure of where his loyalty should lie. The battle then took a dramatic turn when Eddie, fueled by Bedlam's rage, tore through Peter's webbing with ease and hurled him out of the ring. The force of the throw left a stunned silence in the air. At that moment, Venom completely took over Peter's body, his symbiote instincts taking the lead. When one of the match commentators asked Peter to comment on the fight, Venom, now in full control, simply ignored the question, too focused on the brewing storm between him and Eddie. As the fight escalated, Eddie and Bedlam merged their strength, causing them to grow in both size and power. This transformation only stoked Peter's fury, pushing him to fight even harder. With the situation quickly spiraling out of control, Dylan realized he couldn't remain a bystander any longer. He called upon his symbiote allies, Sleeper and Flexo, to form around him. With their power at his command, Dylan stepped forward and firmly demanded that both Eddie and Peter stop the fight immediately. He warned them that if they refused, they would have to face him, the Prince in Black, and he wasn't about to hold back. The story then shifts back to Meridius and Carnage, observing the chaos as the zombie outbreak spread like wildfire. Meridius looked on, clearly satisfied with how everything was unfolding, confident that the zombie plague would soon evolve into an unstoppable wave of symbiote destruction. In his mind, this was all part of a grander plan, one that would eventually lead him to claim his other and finish cultivating his twisted garden. Cletus, however, seemed far less impressed. To him, the unfolding mayhem was dull and lacked the thrill he sought. When Meridius asked him what he truly desired, Cletus responded with a chilling grin. What does any good Satan figure want? The soul of Eddie Brock, gift-wrapped. As he said this, he began to transform into a massive, devilish version of the Carnage symbiote, ready to unleash his own brand of carnage on anyone in his path. And that's where this issue wraps up. Things are really heating up, but if you're as eager as I am to find out what happens next, make sure to drop a comment below and let me know. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdown.